Hey there, Kitsap County. Welcome back to another weekly video from the Dupuis team at Keller Williams. I am Cassandra Lopez with Dupuis team at Keller Williams West Sound, and today we're going to talk about being scared, for lack of a better word, or wary, maybe that's a better word, of bad real estate brokers and how to handle it. We have a plethora of wonderful, fantastic, professional, ethical agents. And there's a couple out there who, give the rest of us kind of a bad name, if you will. And I know that the reputation of real estate brokers has been kind of hit or miss over the past few decades, probably. Because of those errors and those mistakes, we put into place associations like the National Association of Realtors and the Washington Association and the Kitsap County Association. And it's broken down all the way to a county level pretty much across the country. So there's that many different associations that you can be associated with, pardon the pun. But those have been put in place with a code of ethics to, kind of prevent any unethical behavior or have consequences for unethical behavior. So what do you do if you're a home seller, for example? What do you do when you're interviewing agents, but you're like, I kind of had a bad experience before, or everyone I know has had a bad experience, or my mom told me not to have an agent, that I can sell it myself. It's a hot seller's market. Just put it on Zillow and away we go, right? Do your own research. I would talk to people who have had good experience and see who they worked with, and maybe interview that particular agent or team or somebody from that brokerage. You're going to want to look for a real estate broker who is also a realtor. So just to be very clear, not all real estate brokers, which is just a person who holds a real estate license, that's a broker. Not all real estate brokers are realtors, but all realtors are real estate brokers. To be a realtor, you are a member of the National Association of Realtors. What that does for us as realtors is we subscribe to a higher and really strict code of ethics that has consequences involved if we violate that code of ethics. The flip side is, if you're not a realtor and you belong to a brokerage that is not a member of the National Association of Realtors, and you engage in unethical behavior, there are no consequences to fall back on because there's no association holding you accountable for that. So let's just rephrase that another way. If you're not a realtor, you can behave unethically and not have any accountability for it. If you are a realtor and you behave unethically, there is accountability for it. So you're going to want to find a broker who is a realtor because they are holding themselves to a higher level of ethics and standards that maybe a non-realtor would not be accountable for. Just to be fair, there are plenty of non-realtor brokers who are very ethical and very fair and very professional. But to have the protection, I would go that extra mile and hire a broker who is a realtor. So if you are a seller and you are considering selling your home on your own and you don't want to hire a real estate broker because you have had a bad experience or you know somebody or you just don't like the reputation in general, we always recommend that you consult with an attorney. If you're not using a broker to sell your home, you are still legally bound to the seller disclosure statute. So if you don't know what that is, you're going to want to consult with your attorney on what that is and review it very carefully. The seller disclosure statute has to do with the material condition of your property. If you do hire a broker and or a realtor to list your property and market your property, they can explain to you what the seller disclosure form is and what you're going to need to identify in all of that. But it's yours to fill out. You're the one with the knowledge. You're the one with the facts about your home. So you fill it out on your own and you have to deliver it to any buyer who comes along. If you're a buyer and you're kind of wary about real estate brokers, this is kind of a different animal because 99% of the time, a real estate brokerage fee, whether you're on the buyer or the seller side, is paid by proceeds out of seller's sale. So if you're a buyer you actually benefit from all the services and the legal protection that your real estate broker can offer you for free. So you get all the benefits and all the favorable conditions that come along with having buyer representation without having to spend a dime on your broker. It's pretty cool, right? So it's a little bit easier for buyers to choose an agent because obviously when the money factor is removed and the stress of that is removed, and you're not thinking to myself, well, why am I paying you, right? Well, you're not, the seller's paying. So there is what we call a buyer broker agreement or a buyer representation agreement or a buyer agency agreement. They're all the same thing. And basically that will outline any brokerage fee due from the buyer to the broker in the very special case or circumstance that maybe the seller is not willing to pay a brokerage fee. Maybe the seller is a for sale by owner and they don't want to pay a brokerage fee. In that case, the buyer would be responsible. And that would be a very, very limited case-by-case basis. So please don't take this as a blanket statement. Everything is negotiable. Everything we can hash out and put in writing and everything. So please don't think that this is like, a buyer is going to come in and if they buy a for sale by owner off of Zillow that they have to pay a brokerage fee. That's not the case. Every home and every transaction and every buyer and seller and circumstance is different, which would be evaluated accordingly. So just to kind of give you a small snapshot of what could possibly hypothetically, without making absolute statements, could be. So as a buyer, you do get the benefit of having that legal protection and the representation and the negotiation and the skills and the care and everything. And you likely 99% of the time will not pay your buyer representative brokerage fee. The seller will pay that for you. So if you need any clarification on any of your contracts, any of your agreements that you're entering into, before you sign, we please highly recommend attorney review. Because although we are not attorneys, we do have the permission and legal authority to practice a very fine scope of legal practice within the scope of our license, and that is very limited to advisory terms in the contracts that we provide to you. The contracts themselves are written by real estate attorneys, and we just fill in, the terms specific to your transaction, and that's part of the legal practice that we provide. If you have any concerns about hiring a broker, how to hire a broker, how to find a good broker, give us a call. We'd be happy to give you a zero obligation, complimentary consultation just to kind of give you a snapshot of what the market looks like, why it would benefit you to work with a broker. Whether you work with our team or not, that's irrelevant to us. Our job is to make sure that everyone's protected in the transaction, and we want it to feel like a good fit for you. And by interviewing us and several other agents, whomever you find is the best fit for you, that's who we want you to go with, because ultimately at the end of the day, not only is your goal as a seller to get the most money for your property, but have it done in such a way that you felt cared for, protected, communicated with, and on and on. And it's up to you to decide how you feel about the broker that's going to represent you to do that. And then that's why you're going to hire them. And if you're on the buyer side, at the end of the day, it's to get you in the home, transitionally protected. Everything's transparent. Everything that's going on every step of the way, and you have the legal coverage and protection provided by your broker. And if you have any questions about how to do that, please give us a call. I'm Cassandra Lopez with Dupuis team, Keller Williams West Sound. And this has been another weekly video. Like it, share it, like our Facebook page, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and we'll see you right here next week.